She was texting you every day. Then nothing. And you have no idea why. I do. There's actually a name for what she did to you. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why it happened and what you can do about it. But first, I need you to understand something most guys completely miss. Picture this. You two were texting every single day. She was initiating. She was laughing at your jokes. Maybe you even hung out once or twice. Everything felt like it was moving forward. You weren't imagining it. The energy was real. The connection was real. And then one day the replies got slower, shorter. Then the haha responses started showing up. Then the one-word answers. And then radio silence. You start replaying every conversation trying to figure out what you said. You check if she's posted on her story. She has. You wonder if she met someone else. You consider double texting. Maybe you already did. And the whole time you're doing this, she's just living her life like nothing happened. Like you didn't exist 2 weeks ago. Like all of it meant nothing. That feeling right there, that confusion, that low-level panic, that need to understand what went wrong. That's exactly what ghostlighting does to a person. And most guys go through it completely alone because nobody ever explains what's actually happening. What happened to you has a name. It's called ghostlighting. And no, I didn't make that up. Ghostlighting is what happens when someone doesn't fully ghost you. They just fade. They go cold. They're still technically there, but the energy completely disappears. And the worst part? They act like nothing changed. Like you imagined the whole thing. You bring up how the conversation has been different lately, and suddenly you're the one who's being too intense. You're the one making things weird, even though you both know something shifted. It's not ghosting because she hasn't disappeared. It's not gaslighting because she's not directly lying to you. It's the combination of both. And it's the most disorienting thing a girl can do to a guy without technically doing anything wrong. Which is why it's so hard to call out. Which is why you're left sitting there questioning your own memory of how things were going. Now here's what nobody tells you. There are actually 4 different reasons a girl goes cold, and only one of them means you did something wrong. I'm going to break down all 4. But the last one is the one that's going to mess with your head a little. So stay with me. Reason number 1. You move too fast. And before you get defensive, hear me out. There's a pace that girls set internally when something is developing. It's not something we talk about out loud. It's not something we consciously decide on a Tuesday afternoon. It's more instinctive than that. It's a feeling. And when a guy starts pushing past that pace, too many texts in a row, too much intensity too soon, making things feel serious before we've even figured out how we feel, something in us just pumps the brakes. It's not that she doesn't like you anymore. It's that she got overwhelmed. And going cold is her way of creating space without having to have a conversation she doesn't know how to start. She doesn't know how to say, I like you, but you're moving faster than I can keep up with, without it sounding like a rejection. So instead she just slows down and hopes you'll naturally recalibrate. Frustrating? Absolutely. But now you know what it looks like. The fix for this one isn't complicated, but it requires something most guys struggle with, which is patience. If this is what happened, the worst thing you can do is keep pushing. The best thing you can do is slow down. Match her energy. Let her come back to you at her own pace. If she was genuinely interested before, a little space will almost always bring her back. Pressure will not. Reason number 2. And this one is the one you need to hear when you're spiraling at 2 in the morning. It might have nothing to do with you. At all. 0% you. 100% her life. Girls go quiet when things get heavy. Stress at home, something falling apart with a friend, anxiety about school or work or the future, family stuff she's not ready to talk about. Any of it can make her suddenly not have the emotional bandwidth to maintain the energy she was giving you. And here's the thing. You were new. Whatever was building between you two was still early. And when life gets hard, the new thing is the first thing to get cut. Not because it didn't matter, because it hadn't had enough time yet to feel essential. And instead of explaining any of this to you, she just goes quiet. Because explaining it means vulnerability. And vulnerability with someone you barely know is terrifying. It's easier to pull back and deal with the hard thing privately and hope that when things settle down, you'll still be there. The problem is she never tells you that's what she's doing. So you're sitting there assuming the worst while she's just trying to survive a hard week. If this is the reason, time usually tells the story. If she comes back with energy after a week or two, this was probably it. If she comes back at all, actually, that's a good sign. The key is not making her feel guilty for disappearing when she was already overwhelmed. A soft, low-pressure check-in that doesn't demand anything from her is always better than a message that makes her feel like she owes you an explanation. Reason number 3. She's testing you. I know how that sounds, but I'm going to be straight with you because that's the whole point of this channel. Some girls, consciously or not, go quiet to see what you do. Will you chase? Will you panic? Will you send 5 unanswered messages in a row? Will you get cold in return and play the same game back? Or will you hold your ground, stay unbothered, and keep living your life like you have plenty of options? This isn't manipulation in the calculated, evil sense that people like to make it out to be. A lot of the time, it's not even intentional. It's more that she pulled back for whatever small reason. Maybe she had a busy day, maybe she felt like things were getting too easy too fast, and then she noticed how you responded. And that response told her something. Guys who panic fail the test without realizing there was a test. Guys who stay calm and grounded and don't change their behavior based on her silence, that actually makes her more interested, not less. The worst thing about reason 3 is that it rewards behavior that feels unnatural. When someone you like goes cold, every instinct you have tells you to reach out, to fix it, to say something. And the correct move is to do almost nothing. One message, no response. Leave it. Continue your life. That restraint reads as confidence. And confidence is more attractive than any text you could possibly send. Reason number 4. And I told you this one would mess with you a little. She liked you, genuinely liked you, and that scared her. Some girls self-sabotage when feelings start to feel real. It sounds backwards. It is backwards. But it happens all the time, and it's one of those things that's really hard to explain from the outside looking in. Maybe she got badly hurt before and she's not fully healed from it. Maybe she's been in situations where things felt good and then fell apart, and she's so used to that outcome that she starts bracing for it before it even happens. Maybe she convinced herself there's a reason it won't work, you're too different, the timing is off, it'll end badly anyway, and so she starts pulling back before you get the chance to reject her first. She's protecting herself from a pain that hasn't even happened yet. And in doing that, she creates the very distance she was afraid of. And the cruelest part of this one, the part that makes it the hardest to sit with, is that you didn't do anything wrong. You just got close enough to feel real. And that was enough to spook her. If this is what happened to you, there's not a lot you can do to force a different outcome. You can't logic someone out of their own fear. You can't be so perfectly patient and understanding that they suddenly heal from whatever made them this way. What you can do is not take it personally, because it genuinely isn't personal. You were just the person who showed up when she still had work to do on herself. Okay, so now you know why. But knowing why doesn't fix the situation. So let me tell you what to actually do, because most guys get this completely backwards and end up making things worse without realizing it. First, do not chase. I know every part of you wants to send another message. I know the silence feels like something you need to fill. Don't. Nothing signals desperation faster than a guy who cannot sit with uncertainty. You already made your move. You already showed interest. The ball is in her court now. Sending message after message into the silence doesn't make you look persistent or romantic or passionate. It makes you look like you have nothing else going on. And even if that's how you feel in the moment, you cannot let it show. One message with no response is a statement. Multiple messages with no response is a pattern. And patterns are hard to come back from. Give her the space to make a choice. If she's interested, she needs room to come back. If you're constantly in her notifications, you're not giving her that room. You're just reminding her of why she pulled back. Second, and this is actually the most powerful thing you can do right now, live your life loudly. Not to perform for her. Not to make her jealous on purpose. But because a guy who is genuinely moving forward with his life is more attractive than a guy who is sitting still waiting for a girl to decide if she's interested. Post. Go out. Make plans. Work on something. See friends. Be somewhere. Do things that matter to you. Not as a strategy. as a way of reminding yourself that your life is good with or without her in it. And if she happens to see that, even better. Third, after a week or two of genuine silence, you can send one soft, low-pressure message. Not "Why are you ignoring me?" Not "Did I do something wrong?" Nothing that puts the weight of your anxiety onto her. Something easy. A meme that reminded you of something you two talked about. A reference to an inside joke. A genuine, casual check-in that has no agenda attached to it. Something that says "I'm still here, but I'm not desperate." Then leave it completely alone. If she's interested, she'll respond. If she doesn't respond, you have your answer. It won't feel like enough of an answer. It will feel ambiguous and frustrating, and you'll want more closure than that. But silence after a genuine, low-pressure reach-out is an answer. It's just not the one you were hoping for. And here's the hard truth I want to leave you with. You can do everything right. You can be patient. You can give her space. You cannot chase. You can send the perfect low-pressure message at the perfect time. And she might still not come back. And that doesn't mean you failed. That doesn't mean you did something wrong. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means she wasn't ready, or she wasn't right, or the timing was bad, or she had too much going on inside herself that had nothing to do with you. And none of those things are problems you can solve. The guys who truly understand this, who genuinely internalize that not every girl going cold is a puzzle they need to figure out, those are the guys who stop getting destroyed by ghostlighting. Because they stop giving it so much power over how they feel about themselves. They start to see it for what it is. Not a verdict on their worth. Just a thing that happens. A thing that happens to almost everyone. A thing that says more about the other person's readiness than it does about your value. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are not the problem for catching feelings for someone who seemed to be catching them back. That is a normal human thing to do. The only thing you can control is how you carry yourself after. And if you carry yourself with dignity and calm and keep moving forward, that is genuinely the best version of this story you can write. If you've been ghostlighted before or you're going through it right now, drop a comment. Tell me which of the 4 reasons you think it was. I actually read them. And if you want more of this, a girl just telling you what's actually going on so you stop having to guess, subscribe, because I have a lot more where this came from.